Real talk. If you're moving and you're in a real dire situation, you may make the decision, especially if you're moving from place to place, or if you're what we call couch surfing, you're basically homeless and you have to rely on people. You may have what I like to call as an anchor address. And you're like, well, what's an anchor address? That's an address where you want all your mail to go. Even if you're not there. Sometimes, depending on the legal case, that can make things a little confusing. Now, the reason why I say that is because if, depending on your case, where you're physically located is important. Like I said, if you're filing a lawsuit or something like that, or if you're dealing with some type of circumstance and so forth, they're going to want to know, where are you physically located? And so what ends up happening is, if you're in a situation where, and I've had this happen, where, the person uses, and I'll give you a great example. I was representing this one lady in this one EEOC complaint and so forth, and she was based in Florida. And unbeknownst to me, she had moved to Albuquerque. And so it was a weird thing. Her case didn't get dropped. We still were able to keep moving forward, but it made life a lot difficult for me in a particular instance, because I didn't know what address to rely upon. And just from a dealing standpoint. So, there were certain aspects of it that I could have dealt with her case right there, but then it may have been easier just to have to deal with her out in Albuquerque. And that's not the cleanest example. But ultimately, the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes what happens, you have to make a hardcore decision. I understand that. You have to make a hardcore calculated decision that you don't have a place to stay. Somebody is being nice and they're going to let you use their address, so this way you can continue to get your mail, so you can have a physical location where your mail is coming in. I can completely understand that, and I can completely respect that. However, what ends up happening though is that sometimes by going that route, it makes things more confusing, because nobody knows exactly where you are. Now, let me just be honest. I understand that it's worse for you, because even you may not know where you are, because you're basically just trying to go from place to place. And you're basically calling your friend every now and then to say, hey, if I got any mail, can you read it to me? Or I'll swing through and I'll, when I'm back in the state, and check to see if there's anything there. Is there anything really crucial? Read it to me and I can tell you if it's something I need you to do something for me. I understand. But just know that sometimes what happens, addresses is what legal proceedings, what organizations, they rely on your address to know that that's where you are. And by reaching out to you, that's how that is one of the best ways they can reach out to you. Once you start adding the confusion of basically just using somebody's address for purposes of getting mail and not being able to physically know that's how they can reach you, it causes communication with reaching you to become somewhat difficult. So just keep that in the back of your mind, that if you decide to, or you're in a situation where using somebody as an anchor while you have to find where you can get yourself situated, you have an added responsibility to make sure that you keep those individuals informed. Not only people who keep your mail for you, but just if you have an attorney, let them know. Let the appropriate people know, so this way they know that maybe there's some difficulty in getting to you, and getting to you quickly by mail may not be the fastest way, but it's still a reliable way.